Caroline Crouch was a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Born in the UK and raised on the Greek island of Alonissos, she met Babis Anagnostopoulos when she was just 15 years old. Babis, 12 years her senior, was a well-off helicopter pilot, and their relationship quickly developed. At 18, Caroline married Babis, and soon after, they welcomed a baby girl. From the outside, they seemed to have a dream life, a young family living comfortably in the quiet Athenian suburb of Glyconera. However, beneath the surface, their relationship was far from ideal. Caroline's personal diary entries, which later became public during the investigation, painted a picture of emotional turmoil and abuse. She detailed how Babis had become controlling and aggressive, with frequent fights that often left her feeling trapped and desperate. Caroline had even considered leaving Babis several times, but was concerned about the future of their daughter and the financial stability Babis provided. Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos. In the early hours of May 11, 2021, Babis called the police in a frantic state. He claimed that their home had been broken into by burglars. He told authorities that the robbers had tied him up, killed Caroline by suffocation, and stolen a significant amount of cash before fleeing the scene. As police arrived, they found Babis tied up next to Caroline's lifeless body, with their 11-month-old daughter crying beside her dead mother. The scene was horrifying, and the alleged crime quickly made national headlines. Babis gave emotional statements to the media, portraying himself as a grieving husband who had just witnessed the brutal murder of his wife. He even comforted Caroline's mother at the funeral, promising her that he would take care of their daughter and ensure that the killers were brought to justice. However, from the beginning, authorities suspected something was amiss. Despite the emotional display by Babis, police couldn't ignore several inconsistencies in his story. The robbery narrative seemed odd. Violent home invasions of this nature were rare in the quiet neighborhood of Glyconera, and it was unusual for burglars to kill without provocation. Moreover, certain pieces of evidence at the crime scene didn't line up with Babis' account of the events. Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos. The breakthrough in the case came through the use of modern technology. Investigators examined Caroline's smartwatch, which recorded biometric data, including her heart rate. The watch revealed that her heart rate had spiked dramatically at the time she was killed, indicating that she had been asleep when the attack began. This contradicted Babis' claim that the robbers had woken them both during the break-in. Further analysis of Babis' phone also exposed holes in his story. He had claimed to be tied up and immobilized while the burglars carried out the murder and ransacked the home. However, data from his phone's fitness app showed that he had been moving around the house at the time of the murder. This data, combined with text messages exchanged between Caroline and Babis on the night of her death, pointed to an argument between the couple that had escalated into violence. In addition to the digital evidence, police uncovered that the memory card from the home's security camera had been removed hours before the alleged robbery. This led investigators to suspect that the crime had been staged well in advance, with Babis attempting to cover up his actions by creating the illusion of a break-in. With mounting evidence against him, Babis was eventually called in for further questioning. On June 17, 2021, 37 days after the murder, Babis confessed to killing Caroline. He admitted to suffocating her in a fit of rage after an argument. His motive for staging the crime as a robbery was to avoid losing custody of their daughter, as he believed a murder charge would lead to his incarceration and the loss of his parental rights. Babis' confession shocked the country, particularly because he had maintained a facade of innocence for over a month. His cold and calculated behavior after the murder, especially his participation in the memorial service and his public calls for justice, made the truth even more chilling. In May 2022, Babis Anagnostopoulos was sentenced to life in prison for the premeditated murder of Caroline Crouch. The court rejected his defense that the murder was a spontaneous act committed in a moment of rage. Instead, the prosecution successfully argued that Babis had planned the crime, citing his actions before and after the murder, including the removal of the security camera's memory card and the staging of the crime scene. Caroline Crouch's murder left a lasting impact not only on her family but also on Greek society. Her case highlighted the prevalence of domestic abuse, often hidden behind closed doors, and the dangerous consequences of controlling relationships. It also underscored the role that technology can play in solving crimes, as digital evidence from Caroline's smartwatch and Babis phone were crucial in uncovering the truth. Today, Caroline's story serves as a tragic reminder of the dangers of domestic violence and the lengths some individuals will go to hide their crimes. Despite the heartbreak of her death, her memory lives on as a symbol of resilience, and her case has raised awareness about the importance of protecting victims of abuse. Please subscribe to our channel and make comments about what you think of our videos.